Chapter 18 For Someone's Sake. As the orange-stained sky, all unnoticed, turned to the purple of night.
This is good.
Finally, Himka-san's feet stopped. We were just beyond the 7th station, perhaps. It was a place with many rocky stretches and a very wide, wonderful view. Looking at my watch, it was already 3 o'clock at night. In the morning. Then as in August, 3 would still be bright daylight. Which means almost an entire day had passed. As expected from the time, and perhaps yesterday's weather, there were no other climates to be seen.
Wait for the dawn, and then I'll say it here.
Saying that, Himka-san began walking towards the edge of the rocky stretch. Peering down the edge of the cliff, it was dark and hard to see. The bottom of the ravine was far enough that you couldn't guess its height. At the least, if you were to throw yourself out, without a doubt, you wouldn't live.
Finally, getting revved up here, aren't we? There's plenty of height too, right? Indeed, about 100 times the 7th floor.
Altitude, about 3,000 meters. And also, no high fence for protection.
Hesmiyu, if you have something to ask, now is the time.
At those words, a number of thoughts swirled. But even though there should have been a number of questions, for some reason, putting each one into words was difficult. So, after a moment's thought, I finally opened my mouth.
Tell me more about Himka-san. Thoughts?
This was also the question that resulted from all my thinking.
Do you want to hear about me? Or do you want to hear about someone in my position? About Himka-san herself. Thoughts? I'm one of the great many Christians in the world. Nothing more, nothing less.
But now, she was going to say complaints to God. That was probably attempt to break one of the greatest of prohibitions.
Then, from before, about a dog of Flanders. No matter what, I have to pick out one out of the 3 people. Yes, for people, there are no other choices.
He firmly said so. The one who was leaving, Nello. The one left behind, Alois. The 2 that will never meet.
Then, Himka-san is rich. Thoughts?
For that question, there was no answer. Little by little, the sky brightened in this place. In this place, where it seemed you could touch the sky, you quietly hung ahead. Surely, the pajama-wearing Himka-san was Nello. Then the Himka-san now was probably Aloy. To say complaints to God if Nello wasn't allowed to, then that was understandable. Then just who was I? What purpose was I brought to this place?
Looks like the time's come.
Saying that, Himiko-san looked up at the sky.
Tatsumi, take this.
And then, taking something from her pocket, she handed it to me.
A rosary? It's fine if you throw it away. You won't. It's just, I don't have the right to carry it anymore, you see?
Just what was that supposed to mean? And didn't have to ask to know. However, up until now, even while saying that she was a former, why did she carry it with her all this time? When I thought about it, I felt like deep down, it's not like she really wanted to do this.
Is it really okay? It means that if there is a prayer, then there is also a curse. But I want you to stop. I can't say that. But depends on the reason.
A reason. One to pull her back. Even if Himiko-san herself wished to, even if she were already a resident of the 7th floor with a closed off future. If, just like with living, people were given the right to die. Just when we found onto silent. Then, a reason good enough to stop that. Because who would have such a thing? And I don't even know what was right. But what would be kindness? I've got a drink now because I recorded straight after the last episode. And speaking and reading aloud this novel seems to dry my mouth out. Drink's still hot. For some reason, I began crying. Being nearby and able to do nothing, and came to know how powerless I was. It started to get light, and looking up at the end of the sky, I was overcome with sadness. No matter how much I thought, I couldn't come up with any decent reasons to pull her back. If Himiko-san herself had decided, then I might not have any right to interfere. But even if that was so, even if I didn't have a reason for why I should pull her back.
Because I'll also be sad.
Not some random person. Because I, myself, would be sad. Because this me, here, wanted her to stop. Even if that were even if it were just the one-sided ego of the one left behind. Even if I could bear my own pain I can't, because I can't bear another's, because the one even being sad means the one remaining were pained the most. Moreover, for me, it was still.
Alois is impossible.
My sobbing continued.
Don't make such a face. When it makes such a face, doesn't it make it hard for me too?
If I were a saint, if my words were not simply for comfort, nor a charm, but real magic.
And now a miracle would happen.
I was crying.
I'm sorry, Oni-san. It would have been better if we hadn't become friends.
The girl stood before me as I continued to cry, and she apologized sadly.
There were clear rules about it too. If you come here, can't make any friends, they said. I'm sorry, if I had followed it properly, Oni-san wouldn't be crying.
And then, once again, facing the sky, the girl started praying. Raising the height from the sky that stretched out forever, she offered a prayer to God and to the God who was probably out there. At that serious figure, the rosary gave her in hand, believing that the simple Lord's Prayer was a medical spell. That figure.
Enough. You don't have to pray anymore. Why?
My sobbing wouldn't stop.
It's useless doing that.
Finally. As a Christian, the words that shouldn't be said came out.
So stop. You can't be saved. No matter what you do, you'll die.
And then, even as a helper, even as Nello's best friend Alois, the words that I must never say came out.
I know. Then, why? But it's not that I don't matter anymore. Just fully crying on Isan for her crying to stop. Too quickly, smile like she always did. And that's all I want to pray for.
A big image.
Why are you crying? Stupid, you didn't know? At a time like this, it's okay to cry.
Himiko-san cried. In a place where it seemed you could touch the sky. It was the first time she showed me tears. Back to present now. At such a time, what words I should say, was what would be kindness. Because I didn't know that. Simply, so she would stop crying even just a little bit sooner, so that her smile would return even just a little bit sooner. Patting her head back, just gently stroking, was all I could do.
Stop that. To be consoled by my middle schooler. I didn't lead such a pathetic life. But don't worry about it. Going by history of sickness, I'm older than you.
Himiko-san sniffled.
What's with that? You're the younger one.
The blue-purple dawn sky grew white, and changed to a sunrise. The wind that began to blow from the valley made a lonely sound. Himiko-san cried. The wind over the ravine also wailed. And probably I, too, was crying.
I'm stopping saying complaints.
As he spoke, she faced the sky and placed her hands together.
Then this. I'm giving it back. Oh, right. Without this, the effectiveness would be weaker, won't it?
Then she hung the rosary and returned on her neck. From this high place, to an even higher, towards the sky, she offered a prayer.
Listen well, but you seem to be hard of hearing. I've come all this way to do it. It doesn't matter about me now. However, at the least, because of me, make it so that there are no people who will be forever pained. And, even if it's just a little bit sooner, let them recover.
and in speaking to herself, Himiko-san coolly murmured, there were a number of other words continuing on, but for me, I couldn't hear what she was saying beyond that. Perhaps Himiko-san had made up with God? That expression was neither despairing nor compassionate. It was proud and could be even considered beautiful. And this was probably of the two she said would never meet. The one leaving the rest for those left behind.
That's all of it.
And then he turned toward me.
So, with a cliched wish, are you disappointed?
I gave my head a small shake. Even if they were called cliched, if I were in Himiko-san's position, would I have, in the same way, sincerely wished for those remaining behind?
See me. You're the witness. I am? Yes. If the risk comes out wrong, next time you take complaints in my place, okay? To God and all that. Was this reason for taking me here? Well, half. Half again, dots. And the remaining half, I guess, is a secret. Indeed.
Saying that, she thought for a moment.
Magic. It's like that. Magic? Yes. Even if there's no effect now, definitely later it should work.
Once again, under the morning sky, we hit the roads. Within that, with lunch brought from a convenience store in hand, Himiko-san whispered,
For now, I'm gonna add one to the rules. Rules? Yes, and it's okay to make friends.
oh, I know what rules. Then, taking the rosary from her pocket,
Really, I could have gotten you this rosary. Give it though. But it looks like I still need it, you see?
as she spoke, she moved it from her neck to decorate her chest.
That's why, once it's to me, I'll give a different thing as a present.
A car?
A different thing? Yes, the one who decides is you.
And now, the rosary drove on, from the sloped roads slowly towards the city. Gripping the wheel was Himiko-san. Not in pyjamas, but the usual Himiko-san I knew. What was different from all the times before was the rosary visible on her chest.
Hey, me. Let me say one thing. From here on out, no matter who you choose, at the very, very end, you mustn't kill all the way to even your heart. What's this about? It's fine, for now. I'm sure you'll be fine. In the end, you'll be able to smile.
That probably was what she mentioned before. The so-called magic. Speaking of magic, that is the name of the next chapter. And this was the end of chapter 18, for someone's sake. Stay tuned for chapter 19, Magic. That's it for this chapter. I'm Hesmiyu. Goodbye.